I was at the pool yesterday and saw these kids playing basketball at the end of the pool. It reminded me a lot of my basketball days. Yes, I played basketball. And yes, I know it's nowhere near basketball season, but bear with me. Yes, I played basketball from 3rd grade until 5th grade. I've never really been that into sports. The only other sport I played at that point was t-ball in kindergarten. I wasn't the most active kid, so my parents had to find other ways to get me in shape. I also did jiu-jitsu in 2nd grade, but let's not talk about that. I only got to yellow belt. Because you see, back in the day, there were only 3 things that a certain little Maxie boy would be doing. Eating food, watching Phineas and Ferb, and playing Super Mario Galaxy.
God, that game was good!
But as you could tell, none of those activities were that good for the waistline, so my parents decided to enroll me in sports to keep me from getting a little too chunksy. When I started playing basketball in 3rd grade, there weren't enough players to make a full 3rd grade team that year, so they decided to merge the 3rd and 4th grade teams so we'd have enough players to make a full team. There was this one 4th grader who absolutely dominated it. And now that I think about it, it was kind of unfair to have some tiny 3rd graders go up against that beast of a 4th grader. He was like a foot taller than most of the players on a given team. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. He was tall. I wasn't terribly good at offense. I'm still not terribly great at shooting. Anybody in my PE class would know that. But what I lacked in offense, I made up in defense. I went extremely hard on that D. Get your mind out of the gutter. I was extremely aggressive when it came to defense. I was right on my man at all times, sometimes uncomfortably so. I am honestly surprised I never fouled somebody. I had only gotten the ball twice during my entire time as a basketball player. The first time was the last game of the season. It was the 4th quarter. The clock was ticking down. I was wide open. My teammate passed me the ball. Right there. It was just me and the basket. This was my chance. I could win the game for my team. I was about to take a shot when I heard the whistle. The referee called me for traveling, even though I wasn't. To this day, I still lose sleep over the fact that the referee who wronged me is still out there. I'll never forget what they did to me. I could have won that game, but you had to falsely call me. I will not rest until you are brought to justice. I need to calm down. So then 4th grade rolled around, and 4th grade was a very interesting year to say the least. I'll probably talk about that in a future video. But there were enough 4th grade players to make a full team, so we decided not to merge the teams again. I was beginning not to enjoy basketball, but I did it for my parents. My mom was a college basketball player. But in order to add to my lack of enjoyment for the sport, we lost every single game of the season. That is right. Every single game. It already sucked enough having to get up early on a Saturday and drive all the way out across town to go to a game. We didn't even go to playoffs that season. But in 5th grade, things started to take a dramatic turn for the worse. Back then, I was in the early stages of becoming who I am now, and that is a giant freaking nerd. I played Minecraft like every waking moment of my life not at school. I began hating basketball. It didn't help that my teammates were becoming overly competitive and began harassing me about the stuff that I liked. I suffered through for the next few months, knowing that I had committed to the season and that it would be over soon enough. Our team fared a bit better that season. We actually got into the playoffs, which was nice, but then a couple weeks before playoffs, something snapped. The months of unhappiness and harassment had finally boiled over. I couldn't take it anymore. I quit basketball and all team sports forever. After my horrible basketball experience, I grew a strong distaste for team sports in general. I haven't played a team sport since. Then I wouldn't become as active anymore, and it wasn't until I started working out a few months ago that I would become fit again. But that's a story for another day. So that was the story of my basketball days. Have you ever played a team sport? Tell me in the comments below. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week with something slightly different. Ah! My microphone!